After Deadpool and Wolverine hit theaters and Disney+, Ryan Reynolds has been riding the high of his big MCU debut as Marvel Jesus. The movie pulled in a massive $1.338 billion worldwide, making it the second biggest film of 2024, the highest-grossing R-rated movie ever, and cracking the top 20 highest-grossing films of all time. But as for slipping back into the red suit, he's not saying no, just that it might take some time. In a chat with Extra, Reynolds was quick to say how much he loved making Deadpool and Wolverine and how proud he is of the reaction it's gotten. "I'm immensely proud and I just feel really lucky to have been, not just a part of it obviously, but to be working with this crew, with so many people who are at the top of their game," he explained. "So many craftspeople, crews that are second, third generation at what they do. I loved every second of it, and it's probably the only film I've ever finished that I mourned. I was genuinely sad and a little depressed when we locked the picture. I'm really excited to see what they do with Deadpool 4. And speaking of that, Morena Baccarin, who plays Vanessa in the franchise, has an MCU dream that I think would be perfect for the next movie. Vanessa barely got any screen time in Deadpool and Wolverine, which was a huge step down from her major role in the first Deadpool. Her part was more like her limited appearance in Deadpool 2, which makes it seem like this trend might continue. But I'm hoping she gets a bigger role next time, and it sounds like Baccarin is hoping for the same. Morena Baccarin has been wanting to bring the mutant Copycat to life for years. While promoting Elevation in an interview with Comic Book, she mentioned she's been waiting 5 years for the chance, joking, "I'm not getting any younger or skinnier, so now's the time." She doubled down on the idea in a chat with The Playlist, saying that Copycat would be the natural next step for Vanessa, especially after she survived Deadpool 2 thanks to Wade's time-traveling antics. If Deadpool and Wolverine set her up for a bigger future, this could finally happen. And honestly, I think Baccarin is spot on. In the comics, Vanessa Carlyle is a shape-shifting mutant who can copy both appearances and powers, kind of like Mystique, but even more versatile. She also has a brief romance with Deadpool before joining Cable's X-Force while disguised as Domino. Deadpool 2 skipped that storyline by sidelining Vanessa and introducing the real Domino instead, but bringing Copycat into the mix now could make for a really interesting dynamic. If Vanessa became a superhero, it would completely change Deadpool's dynamic, especially when it comes to his team. Now let's be real, Deadpool didn't exactly care about X-Force in Deadpool 2. Sure, he was upset when they all got wiped out, but aside from Peter, he wasn't too torn up about it. In Deadpool and Wolverine, his motivations were much more personal, driven by the small group of people he actually loves, Vanessa being at the center of that. If she became Copycat and joined a new version of X-Force, Deadpool's usual reckless attitude would take a big hit. His whole "who cares what happens" mindset, which was on full display with how casually he got Johnny Storm killed in Deadpool and Wolverine, wouldn't fly if Vanessa was involved. He'd have to take things way more seriously, which could shake up his entire approach to teamwork, and maybe even put a damper on his carefree attitude. Deadpool 4 could take an exciting turn by introducing Vanessa as Copycat. While Deadpool is best known for his irreverence, his relationships, especially with Vanessa, bring depth to his character, making sure he isn't just non-stop comic relief. The next movie should absolutely keep his signature humor, but shaking up his usual dynamic and challenging him emotionally would make for a compelling sequel. Now that said, there's one big hurdle to making Baccarin's Copycat dream a reality. The Deadpool movies have never established Vanessa as a mutant. Dropping that revelation out of nowhere might feel forced, even if it aligns with her comic origins. However, Deadpool already set a precedent with Ajax unlocking Wade's latent mutant gene, so the same could happen with Vanessa. In the comics, Vanessa has blue skin, though she can hide it with her powers and can mimic others' abilities, sometimes involuntarily. But if she always had that power, her death in Deadpool 2 wouldn't make much sense. She could have just copied Deadpool's healing factor. So Marvel will have to find a clever way to introduce her mutation without making it feel like a retcon. However they do it though, it's about time Baccarin got her wish, and we finally get to see one of Marvel's lesser-known but fascinating mutants in action. Besides Copycat, there are other characters I'd love to see Deadpool team up with, or at least interact with. And one of the top picks is Iron Man. Sure, Tony Stark died in Avengers Endgame, but let's be honest, if Loki can come back multiple times, why not Iron Man? Bringing together one of the MCU's biggest icons with one of its most marketable characters would be a no-brainer. Plus, Robert Downey Jr. isn't exactly done with Marvel, considering he's set to return as Doctor Doom. If Infinity War proved anything, it's that Tony reacting to Star-Lord, Drax, and Mantis was comedy gold. Now imagine swapping them out for Deadpool's R-rated chaos. The non-stop quips, slapstick humor, and pure chaos would be legendary. And just picture Deadpool stealing one of Tony's suits. If that doesn't scream box office gold, I don't know what does. Kevin Feige, make it happen. Another great team-up would be Captain America and Deadpool, because what could possibly go wrong when you pair the Star-Spangled Man with a plan with God's perfect idiot? Cap and Deadpool couldn't be more different. One is a symbol of justice and freedom, ready to sacrifice himself for the greater good. The other crashes Celine Dion music videos and does questionable things in Crocs. We already got a glimpse of Evans and Reynolds bouncing off each other in Deadpool and Wolverine, and their chemistry was pure gold. Even though Cap has loosened up and seems okay with cursing now, how it should have ended, fans know that Deadpool's non-stop foul-mouthed antics would drive him crazy. Plus, just imagine Deadpool constantly scheming to steal Cap's shield. It would be hilarious. Feige, if you're listening, make this happen. Next up, my favorite, Spider-Man. Deadpool is a massive Spidey fan, so throwing these two together would give us another epic bromance, just like Deadpool and Wolverine. Wade obsessing over Peter Parker would definitely be awkward and inappropriate, but let's be real, that's exactly what we'd expect from the Merc with a mouth. This team-up is even more exciting after Spider-Man No Way Home. Tom Holland's Spidey isn't flying solo anymore, which means we could also see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield join the fun. And if that happens, Deadpool would be the happiest little fanboy in the world. Now let's talk about him and the Punisher. A Deadpool-Punisher team-up would be something else. Frank Castle doesn't have superpowers, a high-tech suit, or gamma rage, just an insane level of skill with weapons. In a way, he and Deadpool are evenly matched in combat, except for one major difference. Frank is all business and Wade never shuts up. On the surface, these two handle enemies the same way, find them and eliminate them. But watching Deadpool's chaotic energy clash with Punisher's grim, no-nonsense attitude would be hilarious. The sheer amount of blood, guts, and profanity would probably make the boys look tame. Well, that's it for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, because we'll be covering more updates on this soon, and other exciting upcoming movies and series. We'll see you next time.